That's right. We are taking a look through the midnight prism. And
Welcome.
I am one part of your hosting team. I am the host, I suppose.
Word.
This Supreme Heretic, aka Drew. This is, of course, Mr. Sir Talks a Lot, aka Corey.
Hail, hail.
But folks, if you would like to contribute and help out the stream, I do have the PayPal pinned because the channel is technically monetized, but not monetized because YouTube is dragging their feet about remonetizing the channel. So if you would like to help in that regard, just use the PayPal, or you can use the exclamation point tip command, and that will take care of any sort of super chats. We have to do the dummy version of super chats, but they still count. So go ahead and utilize those functions if you care to help. And there you go. And of course, we will add the third member of our team in, and that
What is
is
happening, people?
Mr. Immortal Coil.
Nice to see you.
Hail.
It's good to see you, sir.
On
So
this Sunday.
Is that a crystal skull?
Yes, sir. That's the
Hell
Mitchell
yeah.
Hedges Miss. Yeah, that's why I'm part of the show.
I thought it looked familiar, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right, Godzillionaire. I forgot they don't like anything American.
Yeah. See, that's why I stick with safe backgrounds and put myself in the G spot. Just saying.
Yeah, nice, dude.
You just got to do the finger me now motion. Yeah. So
All
what's
right.
going on, guys? How you doing?
Well, we have an interesting topic tonight, and you missed the good intro, Mr. Immortal Coil.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Shit.
Um,
Shame on me.
yeah, because our intro is badass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to go and do the replay like everybody else should.
Yeah, so tonight's topic is quite interesting. We are talking about the legend of the Black-Eyed Children. Let me be clear. It's the Black-Eyed Children. It is not the Black children, because we all have those living around us.
Don't be so sensitive.
They knock on the door and be like, "You got any food, yo?"
No, you see, children is too proper of a term. They call them black-eyed kids, much like a British youth.
BEK.
Yeah, well, it ain't it ain't kids from the hood. This is a legit.
No, and it's like a disturbing fucking urban legend.
So. It is.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's a lot of there is eyewitness accounts for this. I'm not gonna say that there isn't, because there is. I pulled up a bunch of different stuff on it. There's actually a movie about this. I put the link in the chat for you guys. If you scroll up, hey, JT, what's going on, man? Yeah, it ain't the kids of the Black Eyed Peas either.
No.
Wow. If you were the first person to have made that joke, I might actually laugh at it.
a joke floating around like a black backstage. I almost said black stage, but but no, it's funny. Like there are plenty of eyewitness accounts for this, so
Janet doesn't think so.
I don't know if I don't know if this falls. I think this falls more under the guise of urban legend, though. I mean,
yeah.
But it's still listed as a cryptid phenomena, which is why we're discussing it. And it's still an unexplained phenomena, and it is an intriguing one. But let's just.
I think it is explained if you look at it from multiple angles, but we can talk.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to let you talk about the
I'd love to hear some.
The actual clinical phenomena, Corey, since that's your professional arena. and
All right.
you can actually speak
All right.
authoritatively on that.
You want me to start with that?
So let's lead with that because
All right.
first off, let me give the quick sort of definition of this for everybody first, so everybody in the chat knows. So the legend of black-eyed children, they're also called black-eyed kids. Obviously, they're mysterious beings that look to be kids between the ages of 6 to 16. They only appear at night, and usually to unsuspecting adults that are alone in their homes or in places like parking lots, etc. The kids
Wear
come
hoodies.
the kids come in groups of 2 or more and often ask for favors. The favor could be to make a phone call, get a ride home, come in and get something to eat, or to use the bathroom. A few people who have had interactions with the black-eyed kids express a feeling of unexplainable fear when children are near, and no one really knows where they come from. Um, all these different theories have been floated around: extraterrestrials, uh, vampires, and of course, a lot of people think they are demonic. There's a number of sort of assumptions around this phenomena. So, Corey, let's take it from the professional, like sort of.
All right. So there's 2 facets to this.
All
Okay.
right.
One, we have to remember that this was originally reported officially in 1996, and in that time they've made a movie out of it. They've made a big deal out of it and stuff like that. We live in a time where kids are gonna fuck around, and they're gonna dress up like black-eyed kids and go fuck with people at their house. Okay, that's just one of the parts. The other part is when people are out on ghost investigations, they see reflections or their camera catches black-eyed kids, or entities like that, the faces in the glass and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, it's a phenomenon called pareidolia. And what that is when enough parts are close enough to each other to even resemble a human face or a face-like shape, your brain will fill in the gaps
And
to
create
make it a human face.
Mm-hmm.
And this happens with or without a camera. That's why I don't think that there's any substantial video or photographic evidence of black-eyed kids, because they could all be easily explained by the phenomenon of pareidolia. And of course, then dickhead teenagers, after the movie came out, thinking it'd be funny to go around dressed like black-eyed kids. You remember the killer clown incident? I mean, all the psycho clowns that were running around for a while. Yeah,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm guessing a lot of it was something to do with that. And they felt dread because you can program dread into people based on how you look. Black-eyed kids embody a lot of terrifying aspects.
Mm-hmm.
The black eyes, because humans have always said the eyes are the windows to the soul, blah, blah, blah. The eyes never lie. When it's all black, that automatically makes that person assume that there's no soul, there's no lights on inside, and that person is filled with darkness. So full black eyes on a kid, especially some random kid knocking on your door in the middle of fucking night asking you to use your bathroom or your phone, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable and fearful. So that's my clinical impression on it.
Uh, I was really drunk and high years ago at a grad party and was alone on the porch. 2 young adults approached me wanting food. I was having a full-fledged convo with them and let them inside to get it. So, so Corey just gave you the clinical explanation, and Corey legit has a degree in this field, so he knows what he's talking about. But
Psychology, not paranormal shit. I have a real college degree.
yeah. So
Do you have letters after your name?
I stopped before that was necessary because I didn't
Okay.
see the point.
Yeah.
But
All right,
but
Megan.
but I wanted to put it out there. I wanted to put the clinical perspective out there first, folks, because as we should with all paranormal type of discussions, when we're talking about this phenomena, we should look at it from a natural skeptic point of view and then challenge our minds to be changed based on evidence, facts, and things that go along with that. Now, there are plenty of eyewitness accounts to this. I have a number of them here.
On that
Uh,
note, I would like to just state for the record that eyewitness accounts are some of the least reliable types of evidence you could ever have. And now I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I can see that. Um, now this is a witness report that says I let the black-eyed children into my home and now I'm slowly dying.
Okay.
Superstitious paranoia.
Yeah, the following chilling witness account comes from a woman who emailed us to say that she made the mistake of letting the black-eyed kids inside her home, and now she claims is paying the ultimate price. Her story comes as a warning to those willing to open the door more than just a crack. Okay, so
I feel like this was stranger danger on crack mixed with some vampire mythology.
yeah. This woman's letter starts out with saying, "Let me start by saying that I know how hard this will all be to believe, but now that things have taken a turn for the worse, I start looking for stories similar to mine. I feel like I
Yeah.
should share this story with someone, and I made the mistake of letting the black-eyed kids inside, and
It's
now
great to
I'm
be famous, ain't it? Yeah.
yeah. Now I'm worried that I might die because of it. I hope will be a warning to everyone who is ever in the position to make the same mistake that I did." And it starts where she says, "I live just outside of a rural town in Vermont. It's a tight knit community where everyone knows one another and people don't lock doors at night. There has never been any need to. A little over a year ago, I woke up because I heard a loud banging on my front door. At the time, my husband lived in a small home on a dirt road just off the main rural route into town. It was the middle of a snowstorm, and the nearby hills get very slippery in the snow. So I thought that someone might have been in an accident and broken down. It's happened uh, many times before. When I looked out the window, I could see that our motion light was on, and I could see that there were footprints in the snow that had come from our road and into our driveway, but there was no car anywhere. The snow was still covering the road, and no one had driven on it for at least a couple hours. Our front door was obscured from the window, but I could see that someone was standing there. I wasn't.
Zoinks!
Zoinks! Gee, Scoob! I wasn't sure what to think, so I woke my husband up just to feel safer. While I was telling him what was going on, the banging on the door started again, and my husband went to answer it while I stood in the hallway. When he opened the door, there were two children standing in the snow looking toward the ground. They were a boy and a girl and could not have been more than 8 years old. They were dressed strangely and had odd haircuts. The girl's hair was very long and straight, and the boy had a very dated haircut that looked like a bowl cut. God, I once had a bowl cut when I was a child.
I think all of us did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
legit.
why I was mistaken
It's
for
cheap and
being
easy. Yeah.
that's why I was mistaken for being in a Sally Struthers commercial. But anyways, they weren't dressed for winter, and my first thought was that they must have been Mennonite children. But as far as I know, there was never a large community of Mennonites near us. Thinking back on it, that my normal reaction to seeing children in a snowstorm would have been to rush them inside and bundle them up with blankets and hot cocoa. That's not how this felt. These children were very unnerving. They would not make eye contact. When my husband asked them if everything was okay, they asked if they could come in. My husband looked at me like, "What do I do?" And I asked the kids where their parents were. "They'll be here soon," is all they said. This was around 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. So the only reasonable thought in my head was that there must have been an accident or these kids got lost. As much as my instincts told me not to bring them inside, I did it anyway. I went into the kitchen to make them some hot cocoa while my husband took them into the living room. While I was fixing the kettle, I could hear my husband talking to the kids. He was asking them if they were okay, where they came from, how far they walked, if their parents' car was broken down, things like that. But they always just answered, "Our parents will be here soon." They spoke in a very sing-songy voice. They weren't afraid of being in a stranger's home at all. I started to notice that all of our cats, we had 4, were all hiding. Well, that's common. My cats do the same when anybody comes here. Just saying. Um, all the cats were hiding except our cat Pigeon, who was in the kitchen with me. Normally, our cats are very curious and friendly, and we have to be careful that they don't run out the door when we leave. This time, none of them even tried to see who was here, which I thought was very strange. All of the hair on Pigeon's neck was standing up, and his tail was puffed up while he looked in the living room. When I bent down to pet him to see what was wrong, he hissed and started growling and backed up until he had hid himself under the kitchen island. I had never seen him do that before. When I walked back into the living room, the kids were sitting on the couch, as still as can be, but my husband was holding his head in his hands. I asked him what was wrong, and he just said that he felt very dizzy all of a sudden, but that he was fine. I turned back to the children to give them their cocoa, but then they looked at me and I gasped. It took everything inside of me not to drop the mugs and run away. When they looked at me, their eyes were completely black. They had no whites, just giant black pupils. When they saw that I was scared, they stood up and asked if they could use the bathroom. I tried to be as composed as I could be and showed them down the hall. They went into the bathroom together, and I hurried back to my husband to ask him if he had seen their eyes. That would be weird anyway. Why would kids go to the bathroom together at that age? It's just weird. But anyway, he had seen them too and said that it looked like his brother's badly bruised eyes after a car accident. We were in the middle of talking about whose children they could be when my husband's nose started to bleed. He never had random nosebleeds as long as I know him. I just knew inside myself that this had something to do with the kids in the bathroom, and I started crying when I ran to get my husband some tissues. That's when the power went out. I heard my husband yell my name from the living room. As I started to walk back through the hallway, I stopped dead in my tracks. 2 children were standing at the end of the hallway. They weren't moving, and I have never been so scared in my whole life. They just stood there in the dark. After what felt like forever, the boy said, "Our parents are here." Then they walked to the door, opened it, and walked out, leaving it wide open. My husband jumped up to go close the door and almost fell over. We looked out the window and saw 2 men standing by a black car idling at the end of our
I was going
driveway.
to bring that up later. Go ahead.
The men looked like they were wearing black colored suits and were very tall, at least 6 feet. When my husband waved at them, they just stared at us, got into the car, and drove off. Our power came on about a half an hour later, but nothing was the same after that. Over the next few months, 3 of our cats went missing. We can only assume they ran away somewhere and never came back. But the worst thing was coming home to find Pigeon in a puddle of blood on the living room floor. It looked like he had been vomiting blood. The vet told us he had some kind of hemorrhage. After my husband's nosebleeds became a regular occurrence, we went to the doctor. He didn't know what to make of it other than dry nasal passages, but my husband was diagnosed with an aggressive skin cancer. When the doctor asked us if he used tanning beds, we both thought he was joking, but apparently this kind of melanoma is linked to overuse of indoor tanning. The doctors think he will recover, but don't understand how it got so bad so quickly. My husband has never worked an outdoor job and spends relatively little time in the sun. Since we let the black eyed kids inside our home, I've also suffered from regular dizzy spells and nosebleeds on a consistent basis. I've had other issues which I won't mention here, but trust me when I say that I am
Hmm.
suddenly in the worst condition of my life, and no one can do anything about it. I know that all of this is because I let the black-eyed children into my home. We've told everyone we could about the strange kids that showed up that night, but no one else saw them, and some laugh at how scared we were of the quote Mennonite kids, but we know what we saw. I wish my husband had never opened the door. Feel free to publish this as a warning to others about the black eyed kids. My advice would be to lock your doors, call the police, and wait for morning. Don't make the same mistake that I did.
Is
So
that date
Okay.
stamped? Does it
Yeah.
have like 1996 on it or 1998
this
or
this
whatever?
this account this accounting was apparently late January, almost the early February, late January of 2016.
Okay. So we're three full-grown men who have no problem with punching a black-eyed kid in the face, right?
Spartan cake, baby.
This is Sparta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know, Drew. It sounds like a modern ghost story.
Yeah. Okay. So one, that story was way too fucking detailed. Just saying. Like that person should actually be a writer. Like, you know,
Or maybe it is a
honestly.
writer.
Hey, they could be, but that was some pretty good fiction. Um, First of all, if this turned out to be true, I'd ask a series of real questions, like how old are these people? Because if they're over the age of 55, I would then ask if they have a radon pump in this area that constantly gets snow and then they lost their power and stuff. Because if they don't have a radon pump, then that can cause serious health issues over time. As far
Mhm.
as the skin disease goes, I would ask if her husband doesn't spend any time out in the sun, if he had recently started spending time in the sun more often, because underexposure to the sun can increase your sensitivity to ultraviolet light that comes
Good
from the
point.
sun and
Yeah.
induce rare skin disease depending on your genetic makeup. Then, uh, assuming this is true, um, like these kids were probably casing your house. Like, let's be real. They're
I'm
not
Two
black
in the
sure.
eyed.
morning,
Like,
and my parents will be here. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Like, hey,
yeah.
yeah, my nephew did that one time, and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
he got picked up by the cops and spent a lot of time in, yeah,
Yeah.
stupid
All right. Let me say what's up. Say what's up to the chat real
fucking
quick
people.
because we got the chat's kind of lit right now. We got
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Tehillim. We got Tehillim up in there. We got our dude Godzillionaire. What's up, my
hail,
brother?
hail.
Godzillionaire.
Uh,
Fuck yeah.
uh Tobat, what's going on, man?
Here we go.
Great to see you, brother.
Hail,
Janet from
Tommy and
Other
the
Planets.
fucking pigs. Yeah.
hail,
Yep,
Janet.
Fucking Janet.
Janet's here.
Yep.
My dude JT Gunter. Mark Lurseth is in the house. What's up, Mark? Great to see you. Sean Landrigan, how are you, sir? Great to
Hail,
see you.
Sean Landrigan.
Hail, hail.
Um, we also have Koji Pan, one of our favorite chatters from the Bounding into Comics chat. Also, I see Kogi around a lot of other streams. Great to see you, Kogi Pan. Trina is here. Oh, hey, Lasso of Truth. Trina, how you doing?
Glad you could be here.
Mr.
She's
CCDB, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, bro? Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, of course,
Hail,
as
hail.
Coyle mentioned. Great to see you, my friend. And Scarlet, which we already kind of covered one of Scarlet's comments. But how you doing, Scarlet? It's great to have you. The Sentinel's here. What's up, Sentinel? Awesome One is here. Take it easy. The Awesome One's here, as he always says. Relax. Awesome One is here. Awesome One has black eyes, says CCTV. Um, Bone says, "Hail the Sentinel," and what's up, Bone? Great to see you, dude. Drew let Corey in his parking space, and now he won't leave.
Gotta
Yeah,
park my. Hey man, claim that territory. Whoosh. Whip it out.
You gotta piss where your territory is.
yeah. And Small Time Republic just got here. What's up,
Hail.
Small Time Republic? And also, of course, RR is turning the wrench. He's chilling. He's in the house. What's up, RR? Always great to see you, brother. So, based on what we've shared so far, folks, and that's just one of the stories. What do you think of this, Chad? Where do you guys come out on this? Because, like I said, we tried to start. Try to look at this from a lens of common sense and
Well, okay.
sort of skeptic, and then more on the spectrum towards believer.
Well, let's play devil's advocate for a second. Okay.
What's on your
Because-
mind, sir?
Everybody knows that I think this is a load of shit. But I have to ask the questions of what would black-eyed children be in the terms of paranormal existence? Because as we've heard on previous episodes when we were talking about ghosts and stuff like that, you don't see any modern ghosts, right? Now, out of nowhere, black-eyed children just pop up, right? Do you think that's how people felt one time about, say, poltergeists and stuff? They're like, everything's fine. And then it's like, fuck you, have a chair. Whoosh. Or, I mean, because obviously they have to start somewhere, these types of phenomenon, because I do believe that some of these types of phenomenon are real. Some of these ones, like black-eyed kids, are very hard to believe because A, they're brand new. B, they're already been Hollywooded to shit. They've been rammed home with that Hollywood. So,
Well,
and
if they're kids that don't have souls, that just means they're children of Democrats.
Hey, there you go. There you go. They buy them fancy contact lenses so they can look like normal people.
Mhm.
Same ones they develop for the lizard people.
Yeah, they're
Great company.
They're children of Democrats. That's really what.
When
they
it really seems that it's an invention of the media, because we know that demonic things in the media have black eyes,
Yeah.
and you just add some hoodies and some beanies and some like late night kind of shenanigans, and then guess what?
Yeah, and what's creepier than a demonic child?
Yeah,
Like, let's be honest, because children are, like, in human minds, the epitome of, like, innocence and whatnot, even though we all know
Yeah.
children are little shits. But
well, and in doing my research, I found out that to become a black-eyed kid, you have to murder your parents, which is very much like The Doors, the end, where there's a killer and he walks on down the hall and he knocks on his mother's door and he knocks on his father's door and he,
right.
sisters and brothers. So I guess that's how you do it. You just put on Apocalypse Now and let it go.
hail, hail to my friend Billy Ann. How are you doing, Billy Ann? And
First of all, that person said that Biden would like to smell the black-eyed children.
yeah,
He
would.
can't smell anything. Remember that. It's the worst time of his life. He can't sniff any children.
But Joe Biden smells. Let's be clear.
He cannot smell a thing right now. Which
I
means
wouldn't
someone
trust him
else
to-
has to monitor his diaper.
Yeah, I
Not
could
that
put
they
an end
have
to
it.
his smelling with yeah.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
No.
All right, what's up?
Hail, Chris Mead. What's going on, buddy? Good
Hail,
to see
hail.
you. And Mr. CCTV says, "Don't make fun of my lizard people."
Fuck your lizard people.
Oh
Hey,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Fucked them up the asshole with my fist.
No, but like I said, they're we're not kidding you guys. There actually is a movie about this, like
Yeah.
and we did link it up in the chat further up.
Yeah, they came out in 2012, right?
It's
One of you wrenches should read fucking twat that.
2015. It came out. The Black Eyed Children Let Me In was the title of the movie.
So that was during like the height of like the paranormal activity and like what was it? The Conjuring? No. What came out in the same time as that? There were several of these big types of movies that came out that tried to capitalize on these themes.
Somebody
And
said based on the IMDb info that that movie is like a 2.7 or
well,
something out of
yeah,
5.
it's a modern horror movie. Modern horror movies are garbage.
It's like Bloody Mary, you know?
Yeah. Oh God.
Go in
Yeah.
the fucking mirror and Bloody Mary
Uh,
3 times, and
so
Biggie
Right.
Smalls shows up.
that turned out
That's what South Park taught me.
that turned out to be a horrible or horrific fucking movie. That they ruined that legend with that movie when they made that Bloody Mary movie. It's so stupid.
Man, I never wasted my time on that garbage.
You know.
I saw like 15 seconds of a trailer and was like, nope.
Oh God, it's so bad. But for to play devil's advocate, like Corey said, though, if we're trying to put a kind of idea as to what these are, I would say this is a demonic manifestation.
If it were real, yes, I would
Yeah,
agree.
if it were real, I would agree that it would be an absolute demonic manifestation.
You know, because it just to me, I don't I don't buy the extraterrestrial thing. You know, the weird men
Nah.
in black that pick them
Right.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden the black eyed kids have Slenderman as their escort. Okay.
Mhm.
Fuckers.
Well,
Believe that.
I just no the quote parents. Okay, it just I looked at as simply they're all demons, but the thing is it's a demonic definitely a demonic manifestation. And this is and you could go and put it in I think that vein that's accurate. I don't think that there is any I don't think that there's any other way to explain this than say it is demonic. There.
Well, I mean,
Not the Patino, guys.
even if, uh, let's say for a second it's real, it's demonic. Uh, no, that's not where I was going to go with that. Sorry, tired. Um, let's say it's not real, but it's still demonic in its creation. Okay, because somebody along the lines had some kind of dark influence tell them that these things exist. It showed them that these things exist, and then it spiraled out of control. Sure, it was probably this like slack jaw wannabe like investigator guy that supposedly had the first sightings in '96, but
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, I feel like there's some demonic influence in there, even if it's not real. So, just
Well,
saying,
and
because nothing makes people more skeptical than fantasy, like
you also have to
romanticizing
look
all
at
that
like
bullshit.
who benefits from sending out these kids to fuck with people. You know,
Right?
are you the fucking headmaster of some like scary school and you're like testing out your little demon kids? What's going on? You know, and what point does it serve? The author of the article that you cited, Drew, seems to be phantasmagorical and it
Mm-hmm.
wants to scare people. And I think that the way that it was worded definitely serves that function, especially if you're a noob on the internet. But I mean, I've been reading weird shit since like 1994.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not quite so disturbing to me if I haven't read other things and seen other media, but I cannot imagine a point to demonic kids with black eyes,
Nah,
especially
not
when
at
you
all.
can punch them in the face as a 6-foot adult,
Man, I would drop kick one of them damn kids across
you know
the
what I'm
room.
saying?
Like,
I
if
got a
seen that
45 on my hip. So
Open the doors, see a black-eyed kid, and just be like, "No,
Papa!"
wow."
to the chest, face gets arrest, and I'm not saying go out and shoot kids. What I'm saying is analyze your situation. If it's 2 a.m. and somebody's knocking on your door, maybe think twice about opening it up. Get a dog. Those kind of things. Dog food is
Yep.
cheap.
And the thing is also like, if people come by your house at like 2 o'clock in the morning, don't fucking answer the door.
our I love it. Our says power bomb the little demonic bastards. Yeah,
Hell
I would.
yeah, expose, bitch.
I'd jackknife that kid through the fucking table.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
But
Tommy.
like,
He says nothing wrong with throat punching somebody.
no, it's always a viable option to throat punch somebody. But you don't let people in your fucking house at 2 a.m. I don't know about you guys, but I don't answer my door past like 8.
Like, because they're crying and they're tiny and whatever.
Man,
if they have black
real.
eyes and it's 2 a.m, figure it out.
Well, and then on top of that, and then your pets start disappearing. Like, you need to start increasing your security.
When you get skin cancer and your
I'm
fucking
just
mortgage
like,
goes wrong and
well, I'm just saying, like, typically if somebody come by their house and then your pets start disappearing, like, you got a serial killer on your hands that wants quiet entry to your house. So don't trust those kids.
nah, throat punch those kids.
Yeah, legit.
I know, man. Seriously.
Lay down some like
Well,
jujitsu on their asses.
Can I share a link real fast? Because this is reminding me of something that I read once. And this is one of those things like, Drew, you actually turned me on to this subject. I've never heard of these weird kids before.
Way to go, Drew.
I turned you on. Oh, you go,
you
baby.
did.
You go, baby girl.
You did, you long dong Johnson, sir. This is a
The Men in Black
situation report by O.H. Krill from 1994. Like I was saying, as soon as I heard about the characteristics of these kids, I started thinking about the Men in Black. Now it says blah blah blah. Men in Black, they're weird. They do strange things. They show up in Cadillacs. They say, "Don't fucking talk about UFOs ever." Some strange facts. It says an ex-Air Force man is gassed and interrogated by an MIB after he has learned classified NASA secrets. Okay. Close-up photos of UFOs were seized from a teenager who was also directly threatened by Men in Black. Men in Black sighted in the lobby of the U.S. State Department leaves a mysterious artifact, whatever the fuck that is. MIB poses Air Force officers to silence witnesses. MIB tries to buy before hours coke and sings to birds in trees. And I start thinking about, and this is weird. Like, I read this shit when I was like 13 years old and I was like shitting my pants going, holy shit. So what's the difference between this story and the one that we talked about earlier? I don't know. I think that people genuinely like to get off on being scared. It's like a thrill ride. It's like one of those. It's the reason that we ride roller coasters. It's the reason why we shoot guns and why we go and chase tigers and bears and blah 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 blah. So
legit. We do all kinds of stuff to get that rush.
Yeah.
I remember when me and Final Death Star, we did like when we did this subject on his show, when we were doing this subject on Enter the Unfamiliar, and we had like a 3-hour discussion about this because we were reading all the eyewitness accounts, and it was just like, there was one of them where this guy was camping and had these kids follow him while he was camping, and it was like it was super weird. Like what the fuck, dude? I don't know. I really think, again, if I'm gonna lend any credence to this, it's just the matter a lot of these people are probably not believers as far as you know, walking in a good path with the man upstairs, and you know, he, I I definitely do think that there is demonic influence. I do believe in that. I know for a fact, and we will get into that on a deeper level when we do a show on. We'll do a show on angels and demons or demonic activity, but I know that for a fact. I've encountered demonic activity before,
Same.
so I understand what that entails. But you know, this could be a thing where if you're not listen, if you don't get right with God, okay, bad shit tends to happen. Just saying. So that's
Yeah, bad shit happens to believers a lot too, though. Just
it does.
the enemy is always fighting you.
It does, dude. Because listen, Corey, and this immortal. The shit I'm going through right now. I mean, I could sit there and like match the trials of Job, like beat for beat. I could probably beat Job at his trials because I got more trials than that dude right now. But it just it's kind of crazy. But at the same time, you brought up a fascinating point too, Coyle, because we look at it from the standpoint of urban myths and legends. And why do people get off on being scared? Well, it's a tale as old as time. You just think about it, the tradition of sitting around the campfire telling ghost stories.
Yeah.
Why you want to be scared? People
Man.
do have a weird obsession with being scared.
That's because the first drug that we ever get addicted to is adrenaline.
Dopamine.
And it's the
Yeah.
easiest one that you can get your
Endorphins.
hands on
Mhm.
until all
Adrenaline.
of a sudden it's not.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep
Yeah.
making it more extreme.
Could be R says could be a chimera of Nephilim DNA. Nice. We had to mention the Nephilim because every time we mention the Nephilim, it's a shot.
Zechariah Setchin, come on.
Drink up, folks. Nephilim. But no, the what are you guys talking about? Some meat. Hold up. Wait, Kenobi meat? Do we have
Yes.
some Kenobi meat?
That's a
going on?
hashtag.
Yeah.
Kenobi meat.
Type
Let's
of
do
meat
it.
you buy at the store, not the type available in the church.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. This is just, culture is celebrating half Christmas Eve, July 20th. Oh God. Yeah. We don't do Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Cody Pan says, off topic, but I like to see you look at and dissect demonic connections in CERN sometime. Yeah, and I've thought about that.
CERN supposedly set us on a different time path. So
yeah, and I also want to actually get into the topic of the DARPA and some of the experiments that
DARPA's crazy, yo.
go on with DARPA.
And that's Tesla tech. So let's be clear about that.
This is incredibly off topic of the Black Eyed Kids, but they released a brief from DARPA stating that they recently accidentally opened what they're calling a warp bubble.
Yeah.
And I'm
hang on.
Meaning that they managed to...
I would do a Nephilim shot.
They supposedly have the ability to move single particles outside of space-time now.
All right.
So
Supposedly.
individual, like,
That's for the Nephilim.
yeah.
Yeah. Just saying, like, they're doing some shady shit that we don't know about and we're not allowed to know about because we're, peons.
Hail
So-
to you, Terminus Est. What's up, dude?
Hail Terminus.
My no, but no, the interesting thing about this is, there is kind of that need to get that dopamine rush from fear. I mean, it's the reason why there's a healthy haunt industry, healthy haunted house industry. Oh God, I worked in that industry for over 13 years, and people, I mean, people pay money just to go through a man-made maze and have the shit scared out of them.
Well, that's because fear used to be a survival response.
Right.
We would be afraid of things that would kill us or could possibly kill us until we taught ourselves that we could kill it first. Now,
Well, what's more scary than the fucking innocent?
Right.
And that's one of those things, like, kill your parents, become a black-eyed kid, buy a hoodie, buy a fucking logo.
It sounds like some crazy they programming your kids to try and kill you, people.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Well,
Stern screwed
the universities are doing the same thing. So
Stern screwed us all by killing Harambe. Nice. Right?
Yeah.
No, the thing is, though, like, it's funny. Like, people will do a lot for dopamine rushes and stuff. For me, I think my little, like, favorite, I guess, natural like body response is that post nut endorphin. I do like that.
the one that sends you to bed.
That's the thing. That's the thing I'm addicted to.
Right.
But
shooting down aircrafts with that freaking cannon, bro.
Chris Mead says in the 70s they were experimenting with weather technology to try to flood the Ho Chi Minh Trail. God, I just thought of Mr. Buzzcut from Beavis and Butthead on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. But yeah, it was 70% effective. Do people really think they just stopped experimenting? No,
No,
yeah,
and that's MK Ultra kind of shit too.
Yeah, we could get into, and trust me, Chris Mead, but when we get into because it's a fringe topic, it can cover
and if the audience wants us to take off,
unexplained phenomena and stuff like that, but we can get into like chemtrails and stuff like that. Terminus S says CERN is the reason Drew has a gigantic dong. It's the Large Hadron Collider.
Nice.
Nice. That is.
You keep making up excuses.
You're the man now, dog.
You got some fucking bots out there for you.
Yeah. Dwayne Erickson says, good morning to you all. Just checking in from Iowa. What's up, Dwayne?
Hail, Iowa.
Man. But yeah, I am on the side, Corey. I agree with you. I am on the side of that this topic is bunk. And because we've got about another 10, 15 minutes left. I'll go another 10, 15 minutes. But just to say, just my initial thought on the topic, and even doing the show with Final before this, I still kind of had that same lingering thought. I don't necessarily think that this manifestation is real. I think it's more on the side of bunk. I think this is more just urban legend, creepypasta kind of stuff. But the thing is for me, and we know that again, demonic manifestations happen. So it could be from that sense real, but we'll see. Chris Mead says, stopped in to say hey. I'll see you all later. Hey, take it easy, Chris. Love you, buddy. The Godzillionaire says the Washington Monument has nothing on the Ohio Monument. Nice, bro.
The Georgia Guidestones, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it's the Ohio divining rod. That's what it is.
It's a right eye of Horus.
Hail, the lovely Sherry. It was great to see you, girl. Big hugs. Always good to have you here, Sherry.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I mean, my take on it is I kind of look at this through a pretty skeptical eye. I gotta say, this is high on my bunk meter.
Yep.
Coyle, what's your take on it?
I think it's modern mythology, honestly. If there's no record of it before the 90s, like you're saying, then I think it's an internet invented fright device. Real
Hey,
things.
be careful tossing that mythology word around. Walton will show up in the chat and
I know he'll fuck a tree. It doesn't matter to me.
He'll be like, hail to our modern mythology. See, let's start going crazy. So
he'll freak out. But it's one of those things. Like a lot of the things that we discuss on this channel and at this time slot, and as the fucking mystical prism, is that what we're calling midnight prism?
Midnight.
Are things that have been floating around for 50 or more years, and it's things that are more or less indoctrinated or ingrained in our thought processes. If something is this easily pulled apart, then you must wonder why, and that's why we are here to say blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So
that's what I think.
When it comes to unexplained phenomena, I've heard more believable Bigfoot sightings and more believable like UFO experiences than the stuff with the black-eyed kids. That's all
I've been through more believable experiences.
Yeah, so I think the bunk meter is rather high on this one.
Yeah, I'd say it's tipping the scales, bro.
Yeah, like it's shitting on the scale.
Yeah, it is, man. Like that's what. Again, I don't trust anything that comes out of Japan. I don't trust anything that comes since like 1990s onward. Since everyone became connected on the World Wide Web, things have become far less believable.
Mm-hmm.
But people have become far more gullible as well. Hence the reason, look at society. But I mean, they'll believe fucking anything. I was working at the theater when the original Paranormal Activity came out, and people thought it was real. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
That's the thing. Like, I literally got into arguments with these people over it being real or not. And I'm all like, look up the fucking actors. Like, look up the actors. I guarantee you they're not dead. Hey, look, he's in an up-and-coming movie soon. Like,
yeah.
People are gullible as shit, and they'll believe anything as long as it gives them a good adrenaline rush. It spikes their emotions. It makes them feel something, and they like it.
So as a panel, it sounds like we think the black-eyed children are bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real. The only real black-eyed children you'll see are abused children or like to get in fist fights.
Well, and let me fucking catch somebody black-eyeing their kids. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, it's the only remotely like anything that has to do with like black-eyed children or like like we said at the beginning, Court, the black children. Yeah, the black children knock on my door. It would be like, you got some food, yo?
Can I come in and piss, please?
See where I live, I'd be all like, man, there's a wild hill right behind you. Get the fuck up there and take a
Yeah.
piss.
Okay,
Could've pissed on the
85
corner.
degrees outside at night.
give me some food, mister. I'd be
Please.
like, be like, you know, be like,
Any rice,
this-
some
yo.
if you don't let me in, you racist.
This
know,
might
You're
make me a
Disney.
terrible human being, but I don't give a fuck who it is. You come to my
Yeah.
house that late at night, I ain't feeding you. I ain't letting you in. You're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna be pissed off that you're knocking at my door. My dog's gonna bark, and it's gonna piss everybody off.
And it's like, who put you up to this?
Yeah.
Your dad's gonna be here soon. Fucking go get him right now.
Gazillionaire. Jeez,
Gazillionaire.
man.
Savage, dude. That's the savage comment of the night.
I think he wins.
Austin once said, I see more white people with no souls, right?
Gingers, bro. Gingers.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That's why they're getting rid of them in Hollywood, because they got no souls.
Right?
They're
Oh,
being
man.
race swapped.
Word.
All right, that wasn't fun.
Yeah. I gotta bounce, boys.
What
So,
up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. But I want to thank, of course, the chat for
yeah.
coming in tonight and having a fun discussion. This was a cool topic, even though, like, I think again this is more of a creepypasta kind of like legit, just straight up urban legend. I mean, this is in the realm of like Slender Man and shit like that. Like Coyle said, you know, it's one of them things that just, you know, oh my God, it's cool to talk about. And, you know, oh, let me write down my black-eyed children experience. You know, and it's so.
I'm dying. Let me tell my story of the black-eyed children.
I got skin cancer on my dick.
You're not supposed to fuck the tanning tables. We've talked about this.
You're not supposed to talk about dicks.
Hashtag Dicks Division. All right.
Word.
All right.
Kenobi dick.
Moby Dick. All right. Let's go ahead and do our outros, and we'll start with Mr. Immortal Coil since he was the late comer.
Oh.
What's happening, people? My name is Immortal Coil. Trust me, love me, hug me, and kiss me. Share out my link. Hit like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't update my channel as quickly as other people do, but you will like everything you see because I'm honest and I'm on it. And we will go to the next man in the chat. Thank you.
And rumor has it Immortal Coil is going to cosplay as Fred Durst next.
You know, I might be
Those days.
Wolverine or a pirate or something. I look a lot like Vinny Tartamella.
Feeling like a freak.
No, you can also cosplay as Fred Durst.
You think so?
Yeah.
You want to see that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Corey. What's up?
Hey.
Sir Talks a
That's
Lot.
me. Yes, indeed. So find me on YouTube, Sir Talks a Lot, tomorrow morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. We're doing Talking with Talks a Lot, featuring the one and only Lasso of Truth. We will be talking about Stargate, and we're going to have a great time. I will not have a video this Tuesday because I am working on Frank Lee and the Alien Invasion. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Join my Gilded. It's Talks a Lot Town Square. Exclusive content there. It's fantastic. And of course, I have a new song coming out on Friday on the Corey Music channel. And then there's the usual Dicks Division stuff that I do every week. So,
you know, you're having Lasso Truth on, you said?
Yeah, tomorrow morning. That'll be actually tomorrow. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 Central, 11 Mountain, and like 10 or 9, whatever it is on the West Coast over there. You know,
I want to hear her talk. You know, because things always get fun when you have the loudmouth Italian broad that shows up.
She's awesome, and I can't wait to talk about one of our favorite sci-fi show as far as I'm aware, because it's my favorite one, and she seems to like it a lot. So it'll be a good time, and we don't talk about, you know, Entertainment on Sir Talks-a-Lot outside of Talking with Talks-a-Lot. And then, of course, Wednesday is going to be Dark Philosophy, a show like this, where we get into deeper topics and stuff like that. I'll try to keep it light, but I can no guarantees. I have to confirm my guest, but it should be a good time.
Terminus says if he's going to cosplay as Fred Durst, I guarantee it's for the Nookie.
He did it all for the Nookie. So you can take that cookie and shove it up your
Philip Gaming says Pacific Communist time over here. Nice.
Yeah, you know. It's probably too early for you Californians, so don't worry about it. I'm kidding. I love you and I welcome you all.
Oh God, Tommy, yes. People hang out with you, Tommy. They can't help but be loudmouth. Oh, this is true. And of course, folks, I am Drew, aka Supreme Heretic. You know, listen, we have United Resistance coming up on Tuesday, so don't miss that. You know, Corey here has an open invite when he can make it. So sometimes he shows up out of nowhere, like an RKO out of nowhere. He shows up, and
yeah.
you know, sometimes Immortal Coil shows up when he can. But
I do what I can when I can.
But he's also on Pacific Communist time, so
I wasn't gonna say that, but motherfucker.
Well,
oh God, here we go. Here we go with another one. Jesus Christ.
rolling.
Oh God. Yeah, thanks a lot, Terminus. So you get that stuck in everybody's head. But no, you know, we got United Resistance coming up on Tuesday, and then of course yet another edition of the Midnight Prism coming up next Sunday, which you know, we never really figure out what the hell we're going to talk about till probably midweek. So we'll figure out what the topic is, and we'll have it for you guys there. But this topic is actually picked because I threw it out there in the chat on United Resistance on Tuesday, and the chat said, "Hey, do the Black Eyed Children." So you know, we did.
So join the chat. Fucking let us know what you want to see covered on.
Oh yeah.
That's Prism.
And by the way, that reminds me, if you enjoy viewers' votes and stuff like that, stop by Dark Philosophy on Wednesday.
Yes, dude, that's
a great show.
That is a great show, and that's one of the most unique pieces of content you will see on any YouTube channel, folks. And Sir Talks-a-Lot has that exclusively for you. It's his brainchild, his idea, and he does it his way, which I love because Sir Talks-a-Lot kills it. I'm going to go and also this week, folks, I'm going to really try to, you know, because of the recent medical news I got and everything else, the fact that I really can't work, I'm going to have to lean harder into content creation. And so I think one of the things I'm going to do is make some moves this week to update my Twitch channel and get that so I can make a comeback on
making
Twitch.
a hard return on Twitch.
Yep, and you know, and I'm going to do some more game streaming. I definitely want to.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
because I got some fun stuff. I do want to stream game wise. That'll be fun. So be on the lookout for that content when I get that going. And other than that, folks, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, man. We love you. Without you guys, there is no us. You're the best chat on YouTube. I mean, come on. We couldn't ask for better. So, you know, just remember, you guys are what make a content creator. And don't let any of them ever take you for granted or tell you otherwise. Because we do this primarily, because we enjoy it. We're passionate about it, but we do it for you. So,
Word, we do. And of course, stay sexy and don't get murdered.
All right. Take care, folks. Remember, by the way, remember this.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Yes, they're changing people's lives.
Yeah, they really are. Oh, God. All right. Good night, folks.
They think it's
Love you
right to
guys.
murder. They want to murder. Look at all the people, and they get a kick out of it. A sexual kick out of it. The whole thing, I think it's sick. 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 The whole thing, I think it's sick.